everyone. Welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today we are starting a new series. We have a series that we want to share with you called First Impressions. What this series is basically going to be us trying a blend for the very first time. And we are going to open the tin here on the video. We're going to load our pipes, smoke it, everything, and give you our very first impressions on this. Couple of things about this. We're not going to do a rating system on this. We'll basically give it, yes, you should try it. It's okay. Or, hey, this is not one for you guys to try. So, you have anything else that you wanted to add to that?
So, we do this. We were planning on doing this a little bit different, but when we actually started talking about the series, it came down to an idea of how is it that we actually assess an overall score of the tobaccos. When we do the normal reviews with you guys, we've already smoked that tobacco probably 2, 3, 4 times, and we give it an overall grade, and we take the whole blend as a collective and say this is what it is. Now, I personally, and I think you do to an extent, when we get a new tobacco, we are like fine-tune picking, nitpicking, individual, like the Latakia, the Oriental, the Virginia. Who made this? Where did it come from? What's the seller? What's the idea? What's the focus behind the blend? And so today, that's kind of more of what we're going to be going over and that's what I think. We're going to be picking the individual flavors, how they work, what they were going to give us an idea of, does this stand the test of a good blend? And then in those cases, we go with a review, and that's when we make the video, and that's when we start doing stuff. But this will be what we do individually or sometimes together with a brand new tin. As
like our first time that we're gonna what little different things we're picking out of it.
Yeah, like we did
comparison to what other blends we've tried that might be similar.
Absolutely, like what we've done with the Captain Earl's blends before. We first tried those out. We both got together and we were like, man, we love the Latakia that they're using in these blends.
Yeah,
and then just all the other stuff added to it was a good, potpourri of fun that was just added to those blends. But then same company, same blender, different tin, then you get Pirate Cake, and that's just a lap bomb in itself, which is amazing, but
yeah.
And so that's what we're going to be focusing on more. It's just breaking down the tobaccos, who likes what, where it goes, and who's it similar to that we enjoy, and then we sum it up at the end for an actual review. But this time, this is our first test.
All right, well, today we have decided to open a tin of Pease Lagonda. Now, a buddy of mine from the North Texas Briar Club suggested this one to me, and that was Colin Rigsby, who is not only the president of the North Texas Briar Club, but he's also a really great pipe carver as well.
Yes, he is.
And so today I am using my Colin Rigsby Volcano that I had him make for me, and I love this pipe. I smoke it all the time, and I'm going to use this one. Now, Lagonda is a pretty significant English blend. As a matter of fact, we may even lean towards calling it a Balkan blend. It's got lots of Latakia in it. It's got a little bit of Oriental Turkish in it, and it's also got some Virginias, red Virginias in it. And you guys probably already know this, but GLP's tobaccos are manufactured by Cornell and Deal. Yes. There's no flavoring on this one. What they do, and I'll explain the process that GLP's uses with this, but this is they call it a ribbon. It's more like a broken flake, and I'll go over some of that process with you. It comes in 2-ounce tins. It comes in 8-ounce tins, and you can get it just about anywhere GLP stuff is sold. One of the things that GLP's did with this particular blend, and this is in their Old London series. It's and I'm reading this from Tobacco Reviews. It says a luxurious blend comprising generous portions of Cyprus, Latakia, ripe red Virginias, and fine Oriental leaf, with a bit of added brights added for a hint of subtle sweetness. Pressing and aging in cakes integrates the flavors and partially ferments the tobaccos. The cakes are then sliced and tumbled into ribbons, ready for your enjoyment. So this is kind of the process that they use, kind of an old style process of making English blends. Okay, so
And that's actually the part of the reason we wanted to try this, aside from Colin Rigsby's recommendation, is because one of the first impressions we get is the description. The label that they write on the side of the can.
Yeah.
You don't buy something unless you're interested in what they're saying or writing about it. So that's our first impression.
You know, and
Sounds intriguing.
One of the things that you always, as you're like, if you're in a brick and mortar and you're looking at all the tins they got, you know, you check out the artwork.
Yeah.
And on this particular artwork, they use an old styled convertible. I don't know what kind of a car that is, but it's really interesting. I'll show a picture of this on the at the end so that you can see what it is. But you know, it's an interesting artwork on this that kind of leads you to believe that this is going to be something old school.
Yeah. Well, with the enticing thing where it says it's part of their Old London series.
Yeah.
I do kind of look forward to a traditional style.
Just to let you know that I bought this a while ago, and the date on this is May 1st, 2019. So this is a
2 years.
Yeah, 20,
No,
22,
3 year.
This is a 3-year tin that has not been cracked open. I never had plans on cellaring this. I just never got to it, you know? So it just kind of sat there and aged on its own. And it's a little bit swollen, if you'll feel that.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of swelling on that one. So it should be interesting to try and see what has happened over the 3 years.
All right.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and crack that open and see what you get.
So, of course, very Balkan smell. Lot of Kia is very, very, very present. It seems like the aging has done a little bit of the drying process that we wanted it to, so I don't think we need to let it have any sit time. This is another favorite thing that I like about first tins.
Let's let them see what it looks like in the tin.
Yeah.
So you can see that it is kind of a broken flake. It's not really completely ribbon. The colors are nice and dark with just a hint of some brightness in there. But for the most part, that is all dark tobaccos. On the tin note, you know, I get that typical Latakia scent with that smoky, woody, earthy kind of smell. A little bit of mustiness.
Slight earthy and some little peppery kind of spice, you know, that really spice stuff that I get from, you know, your Orientals and Turkish. This, to me, smells like a pretty standard Balkan blend.
Yeah.
And it's very pleasant. Now, I don't know if it's because it's 3-year aging, but it does smell good.
God, that smells so good. Yeah. I get a little bit of a dark fruit scent in there hidden. The leather. You know, the leathery kind of smell in there.
Yeah, let's start packing.
Really rich. But, you know, considering how much Latakia was in this, it doesn't smell like a Latakia bomb.
Well, and that's part of the thing where I kind of want to know when I start tasting it. The Latakia, I want to taste the Virginias to come through. Because the thing is in the description, they used mature red Virginias. So those blends that they have used their mature red Virginias in are not GLPs, but you know, like C&D has a lot of blends that they use that ketchupy, very mature in the grassy hay red Virginia taste that goes through.
Yeah,
I'm wanting that. They're not saying, it doesn't say they use a lot, but I'm wanting to see it present in this blend.
They never. I've never really found a blend from C&D that was like that ketchupy McClelland kind of taste.
No, but they
they have their own unique process that they use
with their red
with
Virginias.
their reds. Yeah,
and I will say I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this comes through.
Well, let's load them up
Virginia.
and see how we go. Now, some of these flakes they break apart. The broken flake breaks apart relatively easy to get some nice ribbon kind of consistency to it, but they're long ribbons, and kind of thick as well. So it's going to slow the burn down a little bit. And so go ahead and start loading yours up if you want, and I'm going to load mine up. A couple of things about this as we were loading up our pipes. We talked about that this was in their Old London series, and that the process that they use, they age the tobaccos, and then they slice it from the cakes, turn it into kind of some flake, and then tumble it to get the ribbon consistency out of it. I don't smell like it's going to be a huge lat bomb, although there are some strong hints
of Latakia.
And you know what? But like I said, the age may have done something to this to kind of soften that tone.
Quite possibly. But I know right now I'm getting hints of some of the other Balkan blends that I've smelled before. One particular was some like this type of Latakia that's being used. Reminds me of some of the Kramer blends that we've tried, like Cary Grant. It kind of gives me a little bit of a very aged, stoved Latakia type flavor. And I don't think they actually stove Latakias, but I know that they do let them age to certain degrees, because Latakia is one of those ingredients that matures incredibly well. It even builds up that little...
Before we get to the taste, can you smell this? I mean, are you getting any kind of a room note out of it?
Yes.
What are you getting?
Very, very strong.
A lot of smokiness?
Very, a lot of smokiness. The mustiness is coming through on this blend, right? Right here as you exhale in the smoke and that room note, there's a lot, it's like a lot of thick, smoky, musty, like...
The smoke thickness on this is just incredible.
Yeah, it's like a campfire.
Yeah.
But like the coal and embers campfire, where it's just that clean burn, but really thick smell.
Now, according to tobacco reviews, this is kind of a medium strength, and the taste on it is also a medium. So, I don't know. We'll see as we get into it. Like I said, the age probably has something to do with this a little bit.
Yeah.
You were talking about the dryness level. That is perfect right there.
Yeah.
To smoke. But like I said, that's been sitting there for a while. Mm-hmm. I think fresh canned, it would probably be a little bit more wet than this is. But anyway, let's see what we got when we get into this.
All right, so initial impression, that Latakia, yeah, you were absolutely right. This is not a lat bomb. The Latakia smells strong in the can. Is very present when you're mixing the bowl. But is not very there on my tongue. Get slight numbness.
A little bit of a spice.
Yeah. I can't tell if it's because of the age or if it's because...
It's from the Orientals. That spice is from the Orientals, and it's the Latakias have mellowed quite a bit. As far as the taste goes, I mean, there's a slight sweetness from there, but mostly what you're getting is a medium to full flavored English blend.
Yeah.
Is what you're getting on this one. That smokiness, that woodiness, that mustiness. It's a rich flavor. It's really, really pretty interesting.
So this is...
I mean, there's a little bit of that dry, sour taste from the Orientals as well. I'm really searching for the Red Virginians.
Me too. And that's where I'm having my biggest issue. They're not there. I can't taste them. I feel like in other Balkan blends, the Virginias that they use or the other filler tobaccos, because I think primarily a Balkan is going to be Latakia and Oriental. Sometimes they'll change it up with Burleys and Virginias or different things like that. But the primary two are Latakia and Oriental. I taste that here. Latakia gives it that smoky thickness, but that's all I'm getting from it. And then the Oriental gives it that slight spice. I'm missing the part where there is that filler, that tertiary flavor that comes through, where it's either tangy, or if it's sweet, or if it's just gonna capitalize more on the smoky, nutty flavors that are there, like Burleys do. I'm missing the red Virginias, and I don't know if it's because they're not using the red Virginias.
Yeah, it might be just a condiment of some sort, But as far as the flavor goes, I mean, this is right up my alley. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what I like. I wish there was a little more sweetness.
Yes.
And you might be able to get that if you like, I have a red Virginia mixing tobacco from C&D.
Yeah.
That you probably could mix in there a little bit more to get more of that sweetness.
Because this is definitely more Balkan, traditional.
I'm trying to put my finger on what this tastes like. What have I smoked that's comparable to this? And it's got hints of being similar to things like a plum pudding. I know what it is. It's like 10 to midnight.
Yeah.
It's like it's got a
Star of the East
as
well.
Yeah. A couple things with this that I'm noticing is that it's really not harsh.
No, and it's consistent.
It's consistent. It's a very mellow smoke. If you don't like Latakia, you're probably not going to like this one. But if you like a Latakia every now and then, this is a nice little blend. I'm really enjoying it. It's not very complex. I mean, there's not a lot of things going on with it. It's just a really solid Latakia smoke.
Yeah, and I've been finding myself smoking some Latakias. The other day, I grabbed a tin of Pirate Cake and Haunted Bookshop.
Mixed?
Yep.
Yeah.
Had our Haunted Pirate Ship.
Yeah, that half and half, that's a really good blend.
Man, it's a good blend. Yeah. And I just smoked that all day. But that's because, gosh, I really wish C&D would use just that Latakia in every single one of their lat blends. If it calls for Latakia, use that one. But they have so many different types, and I don't know what they do differently with that Pirate Cake. But it blends so darn well.
Well, Pirate Cake's not going to be a straight Latakia. It's got some other things in it, some Virginias and things like that, and that could be what makes it a little bit different. What you're tasting, I don't know. This is not necessarily an all-day smoke. This is kind of heavy and rich.
Very much so.
I would consider this an after-dinner smoke.
Yeah.
Nice, easy after-dinner smoke. Burns pretty cool and clean. I'm seeing some really nice white ash in mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really nice. Doing well. There's hardly any moisture in the bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty dry smoke. I've had to relight a little bit here and there, but that's okay. Pleasant aftertaste. I think the intention of this blend was to make a blend that was reminiscent of the old style Balkan blends.
Which I can say probably, because I know how the people in the old time didn't like flavor.
Flavor!
I'm sorry, it's just I get a very traditional smoke. And it's just that. Very, very simple, very consistent, very easy. And you're smoking because you're wanting to smoke. And that's what I feel like is.
I'm digging this.
Well, I'm not saying it's bad. There are people in that category, but then there are ones like Ian or me who want a little frou-frou, who want a little flavor, who want a little sweetness or sourness to go with those flavors. This does seem like they hit it. They were going for, and they made it. They did it.
Yeah.
This is a very traditional old London style smoke, or what I would think of like 1920s style smoke, where it was just, this was tobacco. We dry it out, we chop it up, we put it in a tin, and we give it to you. You know, that's what it is. And I think they nailed it on the head. I just wish the Virginias come through a little more, but that's because I'm a Virginia fan.
Yeah.
And I'm nitpicking them so bad right now because I know there are better Virginias in their lineup.
I could smoke this all day, although it is pretty rich and heavy. But what I love about this is that there's no bite, there's no tongue burn. It's just a really nice smoke for me.
Yeah.
This one breaks down to about $6.05 an ounce.
Yeah, which is
what it does.
About
it's typical about.
Yeah, for Peace.
Well, for any of the tin stuff that come out of the C&D line or the GL Peace line, you know it's pretty good. All right, so any more thoughts about this one? First impressions. I don't think this would ghost a pipe.
No.
If you have a pipe that's dedicated to Englishes, this is going to fit right in.
Right in. It's gonna smooth right into those spots. Even if I would say if you were, you know, a very Virginia smoker, this won't damage any of your smokes. I would say that. It might add a little bit more of a, how do I say it without it sounding nasty? A black charcoal kind of taste. Where you get, it's just a traditional spice, a settling on it. You might get a little bit of that with your straight Virginia blends if you were to smoke it in the same pipe. But I don't think it's going to destroy a pipe. You know, there are some tobaccos that you smoke in a pipe, and that's it. That's all that pipe smokes. Yeah. From now on, anything else you put in there for the next 17 smokes, you're tasting that.
Well, final thoughts on this. What would you pair this with? Like if you had a drink or something like this, what would you pair this with?
With this particular blend, I would go with a very peaty Scotch.
Yeah, me too.
Very peaty.
Like a Lafroig or Lagavulin.
Lagavulin.
Macallan.
Makes a very good Isla Scotch. And that's what it's called. It's just Macallan's Isla. And it's a very, very peaty, very smoky. And I bet those flavors would just bounce all around your mouth with this really smoky smoke.
What about a beer? If you were to drink a beer with this?
Man, Guinness. Some type of thick stout.
Really?
Cream stout, yeah.
I don't get...
Or a coffee stout.
Maybe a coffee stout, but I don't get a stout kind of flavor from this. You know what I'm thinking with this one? An IPA. An IPA, maybe a West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to be quite as strong as the smoke, but it's kind of in that same...
Hoppy. Yeah, very, very rich, full flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only reason I was thinking of a stout is because a stout seems to fill my mouth when I get a drink. Whereas, you know, like light beers or wit beers or things like that, Belgians, they just seem to coat the tongue and then go down really easy, really smooth. I want something that's going to basically give me like a full mouth feel.
I feel a little bit different than that. I feel that the smoke is so rich and so full that I don't need something to compete with that. I want something to just kind of complement it. Yeah, complement it. So that's why I would go with an IPA on this one. All right. So what are your thoughts? Do you recommend this for someone to try? This is an okay blend. You could try it or leave it. Or, hey, don't even touch this.
It's double-edged. I say it's double-edged. It falls into 3 categories into my mind. Ian, our arrow smoker, I'd say stay away, dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to enjoy this smoke. No matter how many times you try it, no matter how long you age it. Your Virginia lovers, this is one of those smokes it's good to have that smoky get away from. This is a good one to sit by the fire right when fall's starting, when temperatures drop to about 60 degrees. And that's where they sit. You know, make a fire, sit outside, grab you a little glass of scotch, sit down, enjoy the smoke. Because that's all you're getting. It's just a solid, full smoke. Now you're balking, guys, grab it.
Anybody that loves Englishes needs to try
Grab
this
it.
one, in my opinion.
Grab it.
Yeah. Anybody that loves Englishes. Now, if you're not an English person and you're looking to reach out into something else, this probably would not be your first go-to. Because this is like, you're getting lots of English flavors on this one.
Traditional English
just
flavors.
a full load of Latakia on this one. And that's not everybody's bag, so... but otherwise, if you do like English blends, you need to try Lagonda. This is a very traditional English styled smoke that I think people need to try just to get a reference of what a full flavored English is like.
Yeah. Now, having said this, as a whole blend, I would have rated it better than what I'm smoking as a first impression. Because after 2 or 3 more smokes, I can see where there's that appeal. Because I do enjoy Englishes. They're not my go-to. They're not on my ready grab shelf.
Yeah.
But they are on my, no, I'm sitting down and having one of these. I do have them on my shelf. I have like 3 shelves at home. There's a cellar. There's a, I'm not going to touch these guys. There's a, ooh, that sounds good. And then there's my ready grab, which is just like on the way out, I'm about to mow the yard, grab, go, things like that. That's my ready grab. I enjoy this texture, this feel.
Yeah.
And I would say, I would have rated it higher after 2 or 3 more smokes. Going down the road, maybe halfway through the 10, I'd have been like, yes, this is a good one. I would have given it a higher score than on my first impression.
I'm about halfway through, and
me too.
This has been very consistent. There hasn't been a really flavor change as we're going through there. This is really nice. Yeah, I like it. I think you guys should try it.
I think you should try it as well. It's definitely worth it.
Couple of things before we leave for today. Don't forget, next week we are doing our Tobacco Tasters episode with Eric Stokeby's 4th Generation Afternoon Melange. So that's another English, but it's not a bomb like, or this is not really a bomb,
No,
but
it's not.
not a strong one like this one.
Yeah.
It's a more of a all day English that you could smoke.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then after that, the week after that is the Chicago Pipe Show. So hopefully I'll have some
you'll be
videos,
there
videos of that to share with you guys. Hopefully, if you, like I said, if you're at the Chicago Pipe Show, please come see me. I don't know what you look like, but you do know what I look like. So come see me, introduce yourself. I've got some gifts for everyone that comes up and
you
says
will be
hi.
at the Turbo 10 booth, right?
For some of the time, yes. I mean, this is my first Chicago show, so I want to see everything.
Yeah.
But for some of the time, yes, I will be at the Turbo 10 booth along with Warren and some of the guys that Warren knows.
Yeah.
So anyway, come see us, guys. We're real excited about the things that are coming up.
Yep.
We've got lots of great things to share with you in the months to come. So please share this channel with your friends. Let them know that you enjoy it, and that way we can continue to have some great content for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, have a great week. Don't forget,
Make all your piping moments count.
hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.